Hello. Happy Tuesday. This is Wendy Lee, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you from my studio. So I am a couple of minutes late. We had some windstorms coming through and had to take care of something unexpectedly. So I am here to join you, and I hope that you are ready for some fun paper crafting. This is a great day to do paper crafting. It's kind of gloomy out here in Pufftown. So I think it's a great day to snuggle up with my catalog and look through all the retiring items that I want to get on my order before they're gone. Snuggle up and get some great ideas. So, hey Kay, so excited to see you. So today what I am going to show you is the Scrappy strip technique. I shared a card the other day on my blog, which I've already mailed out to someone. I forgot to save it to show it to you today, but that's okay. I've got some other samples to show you. And I'm featuring the Bonanza Buddies stamp set. So this great stamp set is sadly on the retiring list. Hey Ginger! And it is also available in a bundle with the dies, coordinating dies that go with it at 10% off. So this one is stinking cute, and I just love it, and I'm sad to see it go. But we're going to use it one more time today. Hey, Amelia, so good to see ya. So let's get started. So what I'm doing is I created a few cards. So I actually started out with this one here, which I love, with the just solid cardstocks and really giving it some bold pop there. Hey Janice, so good to see you. And then I used some punches to punch out the stamped image that I colored with some markers. So then I created a second version of that card, and I used the designer series paper. So this is the Bonanza birthday designer series paper pack, and I used several of the prints in there. And then I changed this up a little bit, and I actually die cut this image right out of the designer paper. I love that the dies coordinate so well with the designer paper that you can save time and just cut out the images if you prefer. Then the one we're going to do today is this one. So I've simplified it a little bit. I reduced the number of patterns that I was using out of the designer paper to try to get my colors to go the direction I wanted them to be. And then I've got that layered on a narrow layer of terracotta tile. And then I just did a punched happy birthday image and then kept the inside pretty simple. So this is what we're going to do today. So I'm going to show you how to create this. So much fun, right? All right, so let me set that aside and pull out our layers. So we are going to start off with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 basic black cardstock for our card base. And then I've got a 5 1/8 inch by 3 7/8 inch terracotta tile cardstock. And then we have got a piece of 5 inch by 3 3/4 basic black cardstock. I've got some scraps of cardstock to do my label. 2 pieces of about, I think that's about 4 inches each on those little pieces of ribbon. And then I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 whisper white to go on the inside, and then some scraps of designer paper that I'm gonna show you how to cut and make the strips out of. Cool. So I will put all the measurements with the complete supply list in the heading of the video after the live. So you will have everything that you need to recreate this project, right? I'm going to see if I can move this up a little bit. Seems like I'm down just a bit low. See if I got that okay. So hopefully that's a little bit better. Maybe. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with my card base and fold that in half. And then I'm going to run my bone folder along that edge to give it a nice good crisp crease. Blah. Okay, so I'm actually going to do the inside of my card first. Nope, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to show you the strips first because I do want that to dry for a minute. So let me go ahead and set this aside. And I'm going to pull out my silicone craft sheet. And then I'm also going to pull out my paper trimmer. So let me move the sample out of the way for now. So I'm pulling out my paper trimmer, and let's see if I can get this in the camera so that you guys can see this. I guess I don't really need this craft sheet just yet. So let me get that in there. And I am just going to pull out some pieces of designer paper. So I am using the candles. I'm not using the the other side with the ice cream cones, although that is stinking cute. And then I've got the balloon print and then the little packages. So you can use a piece that's wider or smaller scraps. I think these are 6 inches long. They don't need to be this long, but that's just what my scrap is. So these are 6 inches long. So I am going to just slide this in my paper trimmer and I'm going to put it at an angle. So it doesn't matter which way you go. And I'm not looking at measurements. I'm just cutting. So I'm just going to cut some strips and I'm just going to angle this back and forth so that I get a few strips in each print. And I think I'm going to cut 3 of the balloons and then I'm going to flip this over. Not that it really matters, but I'm going to do it anyway. Flip it over and try to get some of the balloon or the packages. So let's get 3 of those. All right, perfect. And then I've got another piece I can just throw to the side. And then I want some of these candles as well. So I'm going to cut some of those. So you could do wider strips or narrower strips. It's really whatever you want to do. I'm going to get 3 of those as well. And kind of see how that turns out. Okay, so hopefully I was in camera and you guys could see me cutting that and you could see how easy it is. Again, you can use, we always end up with all those little strips of paper and we never know what to do with them on our designer paper. So this gives us a great way to use those. All right, now I'm getting my silicone craft sheet and I'm gonna pull in my basic black cardstock layer. So this was 5 inches by 3 3/4, and I'm using this to adhere these strips to, okay? So I've got some liquid adhesive, and let's go ahead and just jump on in. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back, and then just kind of lay this out. I can leave an edge, or I can go all the way to the edge. I think I'm gonna go all the way to the edge on this one today. And then let's grab a present one next. I don't know if it really matters. And I'm just going to kind of rotate these. I think I want that narrower end on that one. And I'm leaving just a skinny space between. You can leave as much or as little space as you want when you're working on this. So I just, just eyeball it and kind of do what makes you happy. Oh, okay, that one fell there, so that is where that one's going to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the other end and see if, that might actually make things worse. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm going to stay here. Let me just stay where I'm at and not be too crazy on this. Alrighty, placing that down. So the liquid adhesive will give me a moment in time where I can slide these over if I need to. Hopefully, I don't need to because I don't know if I'm working quick enough to do that. I'm trying not to push too terribly hard to have them stick down, but we'll see how that goes. So again, I'm just building this as I go with my best guess. All right, and I'm going to put my candle there. Okay, now, looks like, I think I want a present layer. And that's going to give me exactly what I want. I'm going with that. Good deal. So sometimes a few extra strips don't hurt. I'm going to slide that up until that gives me what I want up at the top. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay this aside. And yes, it was excessive to have these lengths, but this allowed me to slide things up and down based on the width that I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this aside and let this dry for just a few minutes. The reason I'm on the silicone craft sheet is because you're going to see there's lots of messy glue on the back of there. So the great thing about the silicone craft sheet is as that dries, I'll just be able to peel that right off and use it, and we'll be able to go on our merry way. So that's awesome. One of my favorite things about that. All right, so let's do our stamping next. So I'm going to pull in my foam mat. I don't always show this when we're live because a lot of times I have a big stack of the grid paper here. So today I just have a single sheet so that I could show you the foam mat. It really probably didn't matter if I had that or not, but I just thought I'd show it this way. And I'm dropping things on the floor. All right, okay. So I'm going to take my 5 1/4 by 4 inch Whisper White layer, and I'm going to use the Memento ink pad and one of the sentiments from this lovely Bonanza Buddies stamp set. Hey, Linda. So glad you could join us today. So I'm going to stamp that down. Hopefully I'm somewhat centered and somewhat straight. Sometimes that works out, sometimes that doesn't. As you guys know, it is hard to see when you're on camera exactly where you're stamping. So, all right. So now I've got my scrap of white, and I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, also in a memento ink. And then we'll put our ink away. So the reason I have the foam mat under here, let me explain this. So this originally was on the retiring list, this Pierce mat. But Stampin' Up! Has decided to bring it back in the next catalog, so we will be able to continue to order it. But it's important with photopolymer stamps because I don't usually have a problem with a small image, but when you have larger photopolymer stamps, sometimes it's difficult to get the stamp to stamp evenly across the surface, since there is no foam embedded in a photopolymer stamp, right? It's just the stamp itself. So this allows a little bit of a cushion, and so I find that if I'm having any problems getting a good stamped image with photopolymer, that all I have to do is grab my foam pad. So that works out nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. So I've got my card base that's already folded in half, and I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this white layer to the inside with my snail adhesive. So let me open that up, and we'll just run some of that on the back. So you guys have probably seen, snail adhesive is also on the retiring list. So we have a new adhesive coming out. But if you have this and you like it, go ahead and stock up on refills because you won't be able to get them again once this catalog ends. So you have until June 2nd or until the supplies run out. So, all right, so that's the inside. So now we are ready to, let's go ahead and build this tag because I still want to let that dry for just a moment. So I am using the, I always forget the name of this, Timeless Label Punch. So I'm going to open that up. So you guys know our punches have a lock on them, so they'll fold flat for storage, and then you just simply unlock them to use them. I most of the time use mine upside down so I can slide the paper inside the punch and see where I'm punching. Once I'm happy with the placement, I'll squeeze slightly so it doesn't slide on me, and then I can use both hands to squeeze. My arthritis sometimes will give me a very hard time, so these punches are great. You can also keep them laid on the ground or flat on your surface and push them down as well that way if you're having troubles with your hands. Hey, Diane, so glad you joined us today. All right, so the next thing I did was I have a scrap of black, and I could have used a full piece and cut out a full tag this way, but I'm just going to cut out 2 partials. Whoa, that one went flying. And that one did as well. So I'll set those out of the way because I want to make this look like this is layered. So I'm just going to slide those out just a bit and adhere that to the back. So let me put a little bit of adhesive on here. And we're going to lay this down. Perfect. All right. Great. So that kind of gives it a fun label look there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our next layers built. I'm going to say that my designer paper is going to be dry enough that I can use it. So this was our crazy layer that we made, and here's the back side. So what I need to do is cut away all this excess designer paper. So you can use your snips or you can use your paper trimmer. I'm going to just do my snips because I want to show you that this is actually very fast and easy to do, just to cut away these excess pieces. My scissors are a little bit sticky, but I can clean those later with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a cotton ball. Get that all nice and clean again. You could use your paper trimmer. I think I said that. Because on this edge here, you know, I adjusted that angle so that I had the visual appearance that I wanted. So I can just trim away real quickly with my scissors. Again, or my paper trimmer, and get that excess paper out of my way. So this is coming off pretty good. A little sticky. My glue wasn't quite dry. I think I used a little bit more than I probably needed to adhere those pieces down. All right, let's get that out of our way. Makes a little bit of a sticky mess for us, but we should be good. All right, so that's our layer. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down a little bit more to the 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 terracotta tile cardstock layer. So I'm just going to center that. I like that just that little narrow edge all the way around. Cool. And then we're going to pop this up on the card front with the dimensionals. So I'm using the black Stampin' Dimensionals, but you can use whatever ones you want. You can use the regular ones. You can use the mini ones or the big ones. I like the big ones for a card layer. Just pull those backings off. All right, perfect. And make sure that is the right orientation. How many times have you done that? I've many times actually done my card upside down or backwards. It's funny sometimes, and sometimes it's not. Depends on what you got going on. All right, so I got my 2 little pieces of ribbon, and I'll just put a little bit of snail down for that and lay these down. And I'm going to crisscross them. Yes, I had enough adhesive, good deal. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this label right down over the top of it. Again, I'm going to pull in my black dimensionals. I hope I'm in camera. I realize that sometimes that shows a little bit lower than what I expected. All right, perfect. So fast and easy, right? So I think this is just a really fun technique, a great way to use all your scraps. And so let me pull in the other versions I did as well so you can see those again. So this was another one. I used more of the prints and went skinnier in my strips, and then pulled in some additional punches and die cut an image out of the designer paper. And then there's one here made with solid color cardstocks. And this I stamped and colored the image. Again, punched him out. So cute, right? Fun, fun, fun. So anyway, if you guys love doing some fast, easy projects, I'd love for you to join me this Thursday. I'm doing an online workshop. I've got a special Facebook group for that. I will have some ordering specials in there as well, but we are going to feature some cool products and do some fast and easy cards. Would love for you to join me in that. And of course, if anyone places an order today through Friday using my host code 9S3FURTX, I will send you the Make and Take packet to create today's card. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I will put the supply list and the cut dimensions all in the header of the video. It takes me a few minutes to pull all that down, but then you will have what you need to recreate these cards. Awesome. Thanks so much. You guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you next week. Bye.